Jubilee is the kind of support design I want moving forward for this game, and I hope we never get something similar to Rocket ever again. Look, I'm not trying to come for the support mains in this video, but I'm low-key coming for the support mains in this video. Nah, I was just joking. I'm not coming for the support mains in this video. I have no reason to. I just want to talk about Jubilee and why I think this kind of support design is really good for the game. You saw in the intro I mentioned Rocket Raccoon's design, and I would stand on that. I do not like his design in the slightest. I like his new Groot team up because it helps them be more interactive and more proactive, but Rocket's original design is horrendous to me. All you do is sit there and hold right click. There's a lot of Rocket players out there that only hold right click and don't understand how strong his left click is, but his left click isn't very practical. It can rack up a lot of damage on a bigger body like a Venom or Devil Dinosaur thing, but to me it feels like it doesn't flow too well with this kit because him healing and doing damage are separate actions. Rocket puts out so many heals that it doesn't really make sense to try to weave in some left clicks as you're spamming your right clicks. There's really no need to because he has extremely long range with his right clicks, they bounce off walls, and their AoE heals. Rocket has an extremely unhealthy playstyle in my opinion. At least on a character like Mantis, you're forced to use her left click. She can damage boost herself and each of her headshots give her a leaf back. Adam Warlock's in the same boat. Even though it took a couple patches for him to get to this state, it's still a lot better than whatever Rocket has to offer when it comes to his left click right click combination. The way how Rocket is designed initially just irks me because there's no reason anybody can just play this character and get instant value on him. The whole meme of, oh, if your other DPS is doing bad, just tell them to go Rocket and you'll probably win the game, isn't really even a meme. It's just true. That's how horrific the character is designed. And don't get me wrong, like I mentioned earlier, the Groot team up does give him a bit of agency because it can make you a very proactive Rocket player. And playing Rocket still requires fundamentals. Play cover, know how to position yourself, know how to place your ult, yada yada yada, you know the whole nine. But if there's one character in the game that can kind of ignore those fundamentals and still get extreme value, it might be Rocket. And that right there is why I just despise his initial design. And there are other supports in this game that I don't like because of how handholdy their designs are as well. Cloak and Dagger come to mind. That new team up is fucking AIDS, by the way. I have no idea how they made it past testing, but it's another piece of bullshit we have to deal with on a support role. Even though I don't like C&Ds in Rocket's kit, I don't mind that they exist. It's just in a game like Marvel Rivals where high healing output is very much needed, these two characters kind of creep themselves up towards the upper echelon of picks in the game, and I just don't like that. They're too easy to be this good this frequently. I don't want them to be completely unplayable, but I want them to become circumstantially meta instead of what the fuck they did to Rocket in season 8. That was unreasonable. I have no idea why they did those changes to him. If you want to make the argument, oh, he was struggling to find a place in the meta, I really don't care, because this character should never become meta off of buffs, considering how he's played. He should only become meta because other characters around him are getting better and he enables those characters. Now let's move on to what I really want to talk about. The last 3 supports we've gotten, and specifically Jubilee. I wanted to include Gambit in this, but you really can only play Gambit in quick play. Dating back to Deadpool's release, we've gotten 3 supports up to season 9. We've gotten Deadpool himself, White Fox, and Jubilee, and all 3 of them are very different from the traditional supports we get in this game. I know characters like Invisible Woman and Luna can be played very differently in terms of how you want to off angle on them and use their ults. I understand that, but the way how these 3 characters are played, they offer such unique utilities in certain ways that teams have to understand how to actually play with them, and players have to understand how to actually play them to get the full potential out of their kits. I'm not really going to sit here and talk about the viability of them currently in the game right now. I just want to talk about their playstyles. And in my opinion, I think White Fox has the best dive enabling playstyle in the support role because she's more active in the fight with her team, and her ult is a big healing circle, but it's very different from the other healing circles in the game. You have to know how to use it because you can get burned out of it very quickly. It's not just, oh guys, I'm going to pop my ult and nobody's going to die. No, it's none of that Mickey Mouse ass shit. And my favorite thing about White Fox is it's very easy to know when she's not working. She demands a level of understanding of the game that some supports don't force you to have. And let me tell y'all this, if y'all don't know how to play with a support support pool's jackpot, once he's upgraded, you're missing out. You need to understand how to play with that character, because I used to be on the side of, oh, support pool's ass, he's not good. Nah, after figuring out how this character actually works, this character is insane. And on top of that, he's a character that demands a lot of mechanics. You need to have good aim and positioning with this character. He's a very proactive character. A lot of his cooldowns are catered towards making plays opposed to shutting down other plays. So the next time you see a support pool on your team, please tell him to call out his jackpots, because trust me, you're going to get a lot more value on it if you know when he's actually about to get them. So now let's get to the character I believe they did the best on in the entire support role. I used to think it was Mantis, now I think it's Jubilee. The way how they created this character to force players to be attentive of things around them, it is so fantastic. Once you understand how to use Jubilee's balls, you wouldn't want to play with any pair of balls except for hers. And let me tell you, they're a nice pair of balls. So nice that your teammates would want to be near your balls as well. Juggling Jubilee's balls is a really fun experience. So get out there and learn how to play with her balls. Her gameplay loop is something that might be a little tricky to get the hang of, but it doesn't feel overwhelming. Igniting her orbs allows her to use rapid fire, and being able to cycle between the shift's rapid fire and the orb's rapid fire is something every Jubilee player needs to understand. And once you get the hang of that, everything clicked for the character. But what's really exciting about her for me is she doesn't have a get out of jail free card like most supports do. That's why you have to be so attentive with her. You have to call out who's on off angles, and you have to call out who's about to dive you. It forces you to focus on everything as a whole instead of what's just in front of you. I don't know, that's just my favorite part about playing support, the micromanaging aspect. There's so many things that you have to do to make sure you're being effective and valuable for your team. And truthfully speaking, that's all I want from the support role. I feel like the support's design in this game are kind of hit or miss when it comes to that aspect of teaching players how to recognize what's actually happening around them, because they're so focused on what's in front of them. Think about how many times you've been on an off angle and you've gotten zero resources. Trust me, it happens to me a lot. Even when I do call it out, I'm still not getting any resources. So I sit there looking like a dumbass fighting two people who are setting up for a dive, and my supports aren't looking at me to help them. There's a lot more to this game than looking main on support. And we're 9 seasons in and we still haven't gotten that. But the last 3 support characters they've released have heavily influenced people to not play like that anymore. You will have to be very proactive while playing these 3 characters, or else you're practically gonna throw. And the whole playstyle of only looking main really only exists because of 2 things. 1, the characters are designed like that, and 2, there's so much damage in rivals, sometimes you're just forced to look main all the time. So once the damage is addressed, maybe we can tune down the healing numbers and switch up how some supports play in this game. But that's not an excuse. When you play support, try to be more attentive to a lot of things around you, and I guarantee you your gameplay will improve. So let's wrap this up. Marvel Rivals Season 9 is barely even a week old, depending on when I get this video out to you guys. I'm actually kind of disappointed from the day 1 patch, because it seemed like we were finally removing the training wheels from the support role. It was only 1 day, man. Like we can't keep doing this to this role. Like at some point in time, we just gotta say fuck it and let them ride it out, right? I don't know, man. I can't come to a conclusion on that patch, because again, it was only 1 day. It's whatever. If you made it this far into the video, you know the drill. Leave a like, comment, and subscribe if you enjoyed. Have a wonderful day, and peace out.